Max here, and today we're going to be looking at my ideal team setup for hunting the Eidolon. This team setup will work for captures and for kills, depending on what you feel like doing. I personally always go for captures. I like the Brilliant Eidolon shards and the flawless cores, I think they're called. So yeah, we'll get right into this. First off, obviously, we're going to need somebody to actually kill the Eidolon to deal enough damage to be able to get 9 or so in a night. Damage output is top on my list, and this is usually who I end up being in the team. So Chroma is by far the best frame for this. Build I use is the same build I use in my final form, and it still 100% works amazingly. Just duration, strength. If you don't have all these mods, you can switch them out for regular continuity, regular vigor. Those aren't huge. You'll just have to cast your ability a little bit later, and then you might have cast your ability between limbs. So what this build allows me to do is cast my ability once just before his shield goes down, pop one of his limbs, he goes through his little energy spike thing, and then he stands up, drop his shield again, and pop another one of his limbs. I'll usually have about 1.5 seconds to 2 seconds before Vex Armor runs out with this current duration build. And then the strength, I don't really need to put like a transient fortitude or anything in there because I find the strength is fine. I can 1 or 2 shot any of the Eidolon limbs, just depending on what kind of crit I get, yellow, red, or orange. I use Vectis Prime as my weapon. As with every gun, you don't really need a Riven to make this gun very good. Some of the lower level guns you might need to, but Vectis is the one I run. I hear different people are running different things. Like I hear some people are saying the Tigress, and I just don't. I've tried the Tigress, and to me it's definitely not as effective as running a sniper rifle, and Vectis is just my go-to sniper rifle. I use the Axolotl just to clear any Grineer that get in the way, just because they can be a little annoying. Now, for Chroma, in order to use his abilities, you actually have to self-damage. So, pop your Vex Armor, and then throw the blade at your feet. And you see up in the top corner there, the slash proc's giving me more fury. And it just takes 2 throws to give yourself full fury for this build anyway. Quick spawn in a level 100 Corrupted Heavy Gunner. This could be 150, it doesn't really matter. It's just, this does an absolute crap ton of damage. So, as you can see there, it's a little bit ridiculous. Chroma is awesome for damage dealing. The only problem you're going to have running him normally is you do have to damage yourself. So, just keep in mind that you will have to find ways to heal. Hanging around a Trinity is fine. But I like being able to heal myself. So with my glaive build, I threw in a life strike. So just quickly, equip the melee, run around in channel, and heal off the Vombalists or Grineer or whatever is around me, if I need to. Now most fights I don't have to, but if I get a random team that isn't the greatest, or the Trinity isn't the greatest player, then we have to obviously heal ourselves. So getting into a situation like that, life strike helps a lot. So that's your Chroma, and yeah, he kills things. That's his job. Now moving on to Harrow. Harrow we really only need his 4th ability for, but his 4th ability makes speedrunning Eidolons possible and very, very efficient. So what's going to happen is everybody's going to work on the shield. The shield's going to go down. Chroma's going to have full Vex Armor Fury set up, pop one of his limbs, the Eidolon's going to kneel, and then give off this energy spike. Now, when you hear the little guy there on the side say energy spike, or as soon as you hear the arm break, you can see the Eidolon about to do the energy spike. So what the Harrow does is everybody runs to the feet. Harrow pops his 4th ability. Now his 4th ability, Covenant, gives you an immortality, kind of like a invulnerability to all damage and all procs for the protection duration, which on this build is 16.92 seconds, which is way too long, and I'll explain that in a sec. And then after that's over, based on the amount of damage you take, you get a crit bonus, like crit percent bonus up to 50% on body and up to 200% on head. Now, the reason that this is way too long is because the guy's going to go down. The Eidolon is going to go down. He's going to have this energy spike for 9-10 seconds, and then he's going to stand up and you're going to be able to damage him again after a very short invulnerability phase. So if this is still up after, a minute, and the Eidolon's already been downed and dropped, this isn't refreshable. So if the Eidolon stood up, the Chroma drops him, and you've still got 5 seconds left on your ability, everybody's got to bail now. Everybody's going to be hit by the radiation, and it's just not good. So what I would recommend is going with this build. Now, the reason I showed you the first build in the first place is because a lot of people just slap on the duration. I usually play with random teams just to help people get Eidolon captures, and a lot of people just throw nothing but duration on Harrow, and it really hurts our speed, and we're not able to get as many Eidolons. Like most of the time I'll end up getting 7 or 8, but if I run into somebody like that, like with a really high duration, you'll only end up getting 3 or 4. So as you can see here, the Covenant has a 9.3 protection duration, and an 18.6 retaliation. Now that's awesome for me. That's for the teams that I normally run with, as well as just randoms. That's absolutely perfect if I have to run Harrow. It completely the protection. Sorry, stumbling a little bit there. The protection completely lasts the duration of the energy spike, and then the retaliation lasts, long enough for us to be able to utilize it a little bit. Now, for Harrow's weapons, I don't really worry too much about his weapons because I'm normally either, just in my Harrow to cast the 4th ability. Other than that, I'm in my operator doing damage to the Eidolon. But I do have Harrow just in case I run into a little bit of health issues, and then, fast firing and high damage just to help get rid of the skins of the Vombalists if I'm already in my Harrow. So that's the Harrow, and again, his role is just to use his 4th ability and protect everybody from the energy spikes after you down the Eidolon. Next up, and the one that you're absolutely going to need for captures, is Trinity. Now, Trinity we're just going to get with her role over with. Trinity's role is to go get Eidolon lures and charge them and keep them alive. That is Trinity's really only job. If you're a good Trinity player and you've been playing the game for a little while, you can, heal your allies, use your EV a little bit, that kind of stuff, just kind of branch out. But Trinity's main purpose, and really the only absolute reason you need a Trinity, is to get the lures, charge them, and keep them alive during the fight. So for that, I use a basic blessing build. Nothing really special in here. Again, if you're a newer player, you can swap the prime mods out for regular mods. It's not that big of a deal. The bigger mods, like, narrow-minded, fleeting expertise, transient fortitude, stuff like that might be a little bit more difficult to get a hold of. But if you go into the recruiting chat or trade chat, you can get a hold of them, or people will help you farm for them. This community is a really good community. They can help you get that kind of stuff pretty easily. Corrosive projection, another thing for the Eidolon, you never want to run more than 3 corrosive projections, because the 4th one is just a waste. It's just the way the armor works on the Eidolon. And again, the weapons really don't matter for Trinity except for the melee. Now you're going to want to melee for high range, because what the lures are going to do is they're going to absorb Vombalists, but they have to be in their little spirit form. So you have to take out their skin, which you can use melee with a really high range and just spin to win and knock all their shields off, and then the lures will absorb them. So that's pretty much the only reason I use that. You can use Orthos, Prime, Orthos. You can use any whip with a high range. I just use the Atarax just because Atarax. So yeah, that's Trinity. Her job is to gather lures and keep them alive. And last but not least, we have Volt. Now, Volt's shield is really going to help your critical damage. It's going to increase the damage on your crits. Now, I haven't really figured out if there's a way to increase that yet via modding. I have to do a little more testing on that. But this is the build I'm using for him right now. Just kind of a basic build that I've been using for a little while. I always run Steel Charge on my Volt because it increases your melee speed. This increases your melee damage. Just kind of works in tandem. Again, nothing too big, nothing too important, just a basic what I run on Volt. But yeah, you're going to be using his 3rd ability, the Electric Shield. And what you're going to do is you're going to plop that about 30-ish meters ahead of the Eidolon. Everybody's going to stand behind it and shoot the Eidolon through it with your operator's amp. And it'll just do more damage with your crits and just help you take the shield down that much faster. As well as the Volt can use its speed and help everybody kind of like find Vomblist and charge the lures a little bit faster. So again, really not that important on the weapons on the Volt. I use Vectis, Axoletto, and Atarax just so he can help damage, help take care of the Grineers in the area, and then help charge the lures with slamming out their skins. So pretty basic for the builds. I mean, if you've been hunting Eidolons and you already know this team setup, this is just more of a in-depth look at the builds and what each frame should be doing. Obviously, each frame can help each frame do other things. So if, you know, Chroma got knocked down or didn't get out of the way from a slam and he's out in the middle of nowhere now, everybody can start damaging a limb. It doesn't really matter if Chroma does it or not. Chroma will just 1 or 2 shot it. Everybody can help charge lures. Everybody can help gather lures. Because say if I'm a Chroma and I grab a lure and I bring it over to the Eidolon, I can click stay there or hold position, and then Trinity can walk up and grab it from me and it'll follow her around. So even if I'm the one that gets the lure, Trinity can still have it. You just have to communicate that way. Other than that, I mean, yeah, Eidolon farming is really not that hard. Everybody just kind of has to have their timing down. Other than that, I'll see you guys in the plains. Happy hunting.